Hanoi Prison, from Colonial Dungeon to Wartime Hanoi Hilton, at the heart of Hanoi. Hanoi Prison, once dubbed the Hanoi Hilton by American post stands as one of the capital's most haunting historical landmarks. Its walls bear witness to colonial repression, revolutionary struggle, and the turbulent years of the Vietnam War. 3 eras of history located at 1 Hia Lor Street, Ho An Kim District. The prison's history spans 3 distinct periods. French colonial rule, 1896 to 1954, built by the French and known as Maison Centrale. It was infamous for overcrowding, torture, and executions of Vietnamese revolutionaries. North Vietnam, 1954 to 1964, converted into a detention and political education site for Vietnamese prisoners. Vietnam War, 1964 to 1973, held nearly 600 captured U.S. pilots. Mockingly named the Hanoi Hilton. Colonial oppression, the French constructed Hia Lo in 1896, designed for just 450 inmates but often holding up to 2,000. Its walls stretched 4 meters high, 0.5 meters thick, lined with shards of glass and electrified wires. It became a dreaded place of chains, isolation cells, and public executions, where countless Vietnamese patriots and intellectuals spent their final days. The Vietnam War and the Hanoi Hilton during the war. The prison entered global headlines. In 1964, U.S. Navy pilot Everett Alvarez Jr. became one of the first captured and detained here. American POWs described appalling conditions, meager food, solitary confinement, and reports of mistreatment. The nickname Hanoi Hilton came from graffiti scratched onto a metal bucket, "Welcome to the Hanoi Hilton." Ironically, prisoners nicknamed their cell blocks Little Vegas and Camp Unity. Conditions gradually improved in later years. Among its most famous inmates was John McCain, later a U.S. senator and presidential candidate, who was shot down over Hanoi and imprisoned here for over 5 years. After the war, after 1973, the prison continued to house Vietnamese political prisoners until the mid-1980s. Most of the complex was demolished in the early 1990s, but the main gate and part of the detention blocks were preserved. In 1993-1994, the site was converted into the Hia Lor Prison Museum. Today's exhibits include the guillotine chamber, women's quarters, solitary hell cells, escape tunnels from 1945, and displays of American POW memorabilia. Visiting the site. Opening hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Daily tickets, 30,000 to 50,000 VND, with discounts for students, seniors, and veterans. A historical symbol. Hia Lor Prison is more than a museum, it is a living testimony. The brutality of colonial oppression, the sacrifices of Vietnamese revolutionaries, and the extraordinary chapter when American pilots were held behind its walls. Today, it stands as a stark reminder of both suffering and resilience, embodying Vietnam's enduring aspiration for freedom and humanity.